Namaste. Today is day 4 of my January fast. I'm calling it my January fast, but it's going to go into February, day 4, and I'm pretty much thinking that it will, I'll probably keep going because already, I started a couple of times and I broke my fast on the third day. And had I continued from then on, I would be 10 days further along than I am. So to quit after 10 days and start over again, I think is probably going to be too much for me. So probably I'm going to keep doing this for 40 days. Um, and I wanted to check in earlier today, so we have some light. Um, I have some green juice with me today in a jar. This is a sweet green juice. It's apple, grape, celery, parsley. It's very good. Um, I, I of course dilute it with water. And oh, one thing I wanted to share from last night. I made the shortest video yesterday just for the sake of making one, but I didn't get to make it till like 11 p.m. and it was bedtime. But I had a really rough day yesterday. Like I was like scatterbrained. Things weren't going right. I was like trying to get things done and they weren't working. Um, Today's much better. But I did have something really positive come from my fasting already, so I wanted to share that. And that is that I was having this pain from the Lyme disease in my jaw, especially when I would yawn. Like I would get the pop, a pop, and some pain. And last night, as I was driving home, I was yawning like mad, but there was no popping whatsoever. My jaw is feeling like it's getting back in alignment, no pain whatsoever. So that was really wonderful, and I absolutely know that is from just my 3 days or 2.5 at that point days of fasting. Uh, I've been getting some pains, but generally I think they're going away, and so progress already, day 4. Now, I wanted to do more than just talk about the fast, so today's video, I've been thinking about, I've got lots of things to share. Today, I would like to share lotus pose. Lotus pose, or Padmasana is very, very useful for meditation. That's why it was designed. It was designed for sitting for a long time and not moving, which so you can do meditation in various different poses. So I'm going to go over some of the other poses that we can sit in for meditation, um, because of course meditation is one of the things I'm going to share on my channel. So most people, of course, can't get into lotus. I could get into lotus the first time I tried it because I've been, well, very flexible my whole life. But when I started meditating daily, I could get into lotus, but by the time I was finished doing my meditation, my legs were in such pain. And that's how I started stretching. In stretching, I sought out yoga. And so that's why I do Zen Buddhism and yoga. And I've, gone kind of deep with both of them. And I've learned their differences and where they complement each other and so on. But you can use all different kinds of poses, but lotus is something to aspire to if you can, if you don't have issues with your knees, etc. Otherwise, of course, yes, sit in a straight back chair and you can meditate that way. I don't have any chairs in this room in my studio, but I can share with you some other poses that you can sit in while you're not yet in lotus, and I can share with you some postures to get you ready for lotus. Okay, so let's start with other sitting poses. Half lotus, you're going to bring one foot just in below your thigh on the other side. So say your right foot in, and place your other foot either on top of your thigh, or you can have it down a little bit lower. That's half lotus. And otherwise, let's say that's not comfortable for you either, you can sit with crossed legs. And that's not quite as comfortable for sitting a long time, but you want to keep a straight back. I'm going to share the cushion as well. Okay, so I've got a regular meditation cushion. That's a zafu. And when you're sitting, no matter how you're sitting, you want your tailbone to almost be slipping off of your mat. So you're only using the very edge of it. And it's just pushing up right under your tailbone. And then you hold your spine erect. Lift your crown. Arms on your hands on your knees. And your gaze should be lowered. Or eyes closed. We'll get into more on that later. Now, if you want to try something else, there's another posture you can sit in using your cushion. You can use your cushion the way it is here and bring both feet to either side. This is a variation of hero pose. Hero pose without the cushion is when you sit all the way down onto the ground and have your feet by your hips, on the outsides of your hips. Other than that, many people can't get down this far. We also have hero pose, like so, where you're actually sitting on your heels. And again, many people can't get here. So it's good in this case to go ahead and use a cushion. You can use it that way, or if you can't get down that low, you can use it this way. And many will find this very comfortable. Hands, again, on top of your thighs. Or for Zen meditation, we usually put our right hand on top of our left hand, bring our thumbs lightly together. So that would be this pose. If you don't have a cushion, you can use, if you have blocks, you can use a block. I have blocks, but actually I'm holding up my computer that's taking these videos. But if you don't, you can use blocks. I actually want to say in the old days, we recommended using phone books. We don't really do phone books anymore, so that one's kind of out. Now, some things to get ready for lotus. These are good things to practice daily, especially if you start a meditation routine. Baddha Konasana is first. Baddha Konasana is the butterfly, with which you probably you're familiar if you've done any basic yoga class or any stretching even. So for Baddha Konasana, you're bringing your feet as close to your torso as possible and sitting tall and bringing your knees as far to the ground as possible. There's some things we can do here. We can hold on to the tops of our toes and lift our feet up and release. You can do that with your breath, or you can just do it and hold it any comfortable amount of time. That's a good stretch for your ankles, your toes, and your feet. Things that we usually ignore. Okay, now grabbing your two front fingers, wrap around your big toes, Inhale and come forward. That's going deeper into Baddha Konasana. You can come all the way down, or you probably can't come all the way down, but that's something to aspire to. You can help bring your knees down with your elbows. And while I'm talking, yeah, some people get to the point where they're like, oh yeah, I can't do that. But maybe this is your place. Maybe this is your place. Start practicing. As you practice, you go deeper. Always. No matter what kind of yoga you do, keep practicing and you will find that you go deeper. But wherever you are, that's the pose. Maybe your pose is here. That's your pose. Okay, so that's Baddha Konasana. Another one that we do is to place your leg, your lower leg, you want it along the edge of your mat. And your other leg you're going to put on top. You want to bring your knee on top of your foot on top of your knee. Inhale, reach. Exhale, come forward as much as you can. Again. Now, the thing with these are basic hip openers, which help you get into lotus eventually. You want to do this on both sides. Ideally, yeah, you're going to do this on both sides. You want to open both of your hips. As you can see, my knee isn't quite on my foot. I can, sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. But, again, wherever you are, maybe you're going to try and do this and you might be up here like this. That's where you are. Okay, as I said, well, sometimes my knee is all the way on my foot, sometimes not so much. Okay, other side. See, on this side, we're a little bit closer over here. And yeah, whether I can or I can't, it depends on how much yoga I've been doing, how I've been eating. That's going to make a difference. Okay, so another pose. Bringing your feet out in front of you, spreading your toes. Always, I promote every chance you can to spread your toes, to just, again, give those toes some exercise. Now, this has two variations. You can have your foot out in front of you. You're going to put your other foot inside of your elbow, wrap your arms around, and then rock gently. You're bringing your lower leg as close to your chest as possible. And other side. Grabbing your hands together. Again, this is going to look different depending on how flexible you are. Okay, so the variation for that is to have one of your knees bent. You can have it horizontal the way we had the other one, or you can bring it in like so. Bring your foot into your elbow, rock. Pull to your chest and rock. I'm going to go to my side so you can see what that looks like from the side. Which side? Yeah, we'll do this side. For the other side, I bring my foot in elbow, wrap my arms around, and so as you can see, I'm squeezing my leg all the way up to my chest. And release. I'm going to do one more because this one's an obvious hip opener, though, and that is just wide angle pose, as wide as you are, or as wide as you can comfortably, and come down, reaching forward. Again, many of you will not be able to, most of you, will not be able to come all the way flat down to the ground. Of course, you might be here. Your legs might be here. So here, I'm going to do the rest of this pose from here. You're here. You're going to reach up. Reach both arms up. And come to the side. Okay, this is going to open your hips and, eventually you'll get to widen. Inhale up. Exhale, other side. As you get better, you're going to reach forward, bring your arm down in the front, wrap around, or even bring it to the back. And I'm going to do that on the other side just for the sake of balance. Always do both sides for balance, no matter what you're doing. And that is it for today's video. Back to lotus. Namaste.